Here with Coach Ayers following Wofford's victory over Furman, 38-17. You had 2 weeks to prepare. Talk about the game plan you guys installed for Furman.
Well, the first week was pretty much about just the fundamentals of the game and about conditioning. The second week we got in depth into the game plan. Quite frankly, there wasn't anything special. What we try to do is do what we do, and what we try to do is run the football. We're an option football team. We've got some quality backs. We've got a excellent offensive line. We got receivers that can catch and block, and you know, it was one of those days where we were getting after it, and it was a positive step forward. You look at a football team that, quite frankly, really didn't know who it was. We had played OU in the first one. We had had 2 wins against good opponents, but we really hadn't been tested with the folks that we deem the upper echelon of our league. And you know, Furman comes in; they're nationally ranked. They're on a roll, and we came out, and what we did, we executed. We hurt ourselves in some situations to make the game closer than what it was, but overall, I felt like that our kids they came ready to play. The big thing that we tried to emphasize the second week, quite frankly, was not so much the physical aspect, but the mental aspect. And we tried to emphasize to the kids that, you know, to prepare for a game when teams are pretty close, then you're going to have to make sure that you're on. You're going to have to understand that you can't waste a rep. And we tried to emphasize the focus. We tried to emphasize to them that focus must occur anytime you cross that line. It's got to be every second. You can't take a play off, because if you do, it could be a touchdown, especially when a team is as explosive as Furman.
A lot of great individual performances today, but what was it like to see Jeremy Marshall back out there after nearly 2 years?
Great. That old, I'm telling you, that old guy, he's one of them old warriors, and he's had his ups and downs and his bumps and bruises, and most guys, quite frankly, they would have probably have quit football, but you know, he's done a great job as far as working hard and getting back and rehabbing. He got hurt preseason, and you know, his shoulder and all that stuff, but it was great to have him out there, and you know, this is the first time he's played in a long time, so you know, he had a little rust that he had to work off, but you know, he's going to definitely be a big help you know, in the games to come.
Ameet Pall had 4 sacks, which
awesome. Since
you've been the head coach here, no other players had that.
Ameet Pall is a difference maker, and Ameet was one of those guys, as I was telling the folks in the paper, you know, this whole week I didn't see him smile. I mean, that guy was, he had tunnel vision, and he was getting himself ready for a great challenge. Furman has a quality offensive line. They got some big athletic kids up there, and Ameet, he played well, and a big part of what he was able to accomplish was that there was no clear window for the quarterback. You know, we did a nice job of distributing in the zone. If he held the click long, then there came Ameet. So glad to have him. We're going to enjoy this one tonight, and then we got to get on to Georgia Southern.
Yeah. Now, are you aware Breitenstein had 230 yards on the ground?
I'm aware that he had a good day, and I hope that he can have many more of those. And tremendous player, runs well, understands the cuts. If the hole's not there, he knows where to go from there. And again, just a heck of a game by him and everybody. You know, the staff worked their tail off. You know, play calling today was really good, and execution was really good.
And Mike Rucker becomes the all-time return yard leader here at Wofford today.
Heck of a player. Ruck's one of those guys. God blessed him with some great feet and great speed, and unless you've been back there returning those kicks, you really don't understand how scary it can get. And Ruck's just one of those guys. He has a knack for it. He has that mental toughness to go up there, and even when it's dark, you know, you got to understand, you got to go through the darkness before the light's going to show. And he did a great job of hanging in there. And then when we made the block, he hit the daylight, and that was a huge play in the game, quite frankly. They had gained a little bit of momentum. We came back with that return, and I think that was one of those plays that kind of sealed the deal for us.
All right, next week you go to Statesboro, Georgia Southern. They got you last year, and they're now new coach, new offensive system.
We've had a chance to look at them, and they're way different than they've been. They're back to old school Georgia Southern play, triple option, and if you can't stop the run, I'm sorry, you're at the wrong place. They're physical. Their offensive line does a great job. Their quarterback is a transfer from Georgia Tech. He's a money player. I mean, the guy makes great decisions, and he throws the ball well. You look at them defensively, they're a physical crew. They have a lot of speed, and we're going to have to be a better football team than we were today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Wofford head coach Mike Ayers on this week's 38-17 win over the Furman Paladins in the conference opener for Wofford. Now let's hear from some of the Terrier players. We'll begin with running back Eric Breitenstein. We're with Eric Breitenstein, Wofford fullback, over 200 yards on the ground today, 4 touchdowns. I guess guys dream about things like that.
I know how I've dreamt about it before, so it feels pretty good. The offensive line just did a great job, and then our receivers were blocking all the way downfield on all the touchdowns. They were working their tails off down there, so you can't ask for anything better than that, and I'm just happy to get a win against Furman this year.
Yeah, well, things didn't go well against Furman last year, and you had to sit that game out because of injury, so this must be a little sweeter for you.
It's pretty sweet. It was hard to watch last year. You know, it was hard to play, I'm sure. Everybody just last year brought us down a little bit, you know, but we had a chip on our shoulder this year. We knew what we did could beat them. We just couldn't turn the ball over. Last year, I think we turned the ball over 5 times, like 7 maybe, I don't know. So we knew we had to hold on to the ball, and we beasted them today.
All right, the first 3 games of the year, you won 2, but everybody had the sense this is not the best this team can play. What was so well done this week?
I still don't think it's the best we can play. To be honest, we still had a couple mistakes, and early on we got away with some mistakes in the first couple games, but we knew what we had to do to get better, and we've been working. We had a bye week this week to tune up everything and get it looking right, and I think we did that today.
Georgia Southern next week, they have gone back to running the option.
Good for them. We do too. So, you know, they're pretty good, and our defense has been playing against us this whole time, so I'm confident they'll be able to stop it, and we're going to put some points on the board.
Ameet, 4 sacks. That's a lot of sacks.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get some sacks, but I mean, it works vice versa. We had great, very, very great coverage, and it bought us some time as a D-line and getting rushed from the outside. And when we get pressure, I mean, they lob the ball up, and we're able to get picks.
Tell us about the game plan the defense had going in.
I mean, we had a bye week, so we had a lot of time to prepare for them. We know they're very physical team, very big team, a ranked team, so I mean, we're just happy to come out with a dub. It's always good to get a W, you know?
After last year, you didn't play well at Greenville against these guys. What does it mean to bounce back like you did today?
Well, we came out with a little piss and vinegar, as you guys would say, and I mean, we knew what it had to take to beat them. Like I said, they're very physical. We had 2 weeks to prepare, which you know, gave us fresh legs. We did a lot of conditioning, keep us in shape, kept us focused, and just happy.
Heard a big howl in the locker room after Coach addressed the team. What did Coach say to you guys?
He said that ice cream, double chunk chocolate, that's what victory tastes like, because after each dub, Coach Hanning buys us some ice cream. So after every game, we just, we're happy to get some ice cream. That means we won.
Well, I don't want to keep you from the big scoop ice cream you're about to get, but Georgia Southern last week, they beat you last year. What do you remember about that game?
From what I remember, I mean, it came down to the last drive. They're a very good football team, similar to our offense. We're just going to have to play our game. I mean, we have an advantage because we practice against that offense. We just got to slap them in the mouth. They're very fast, very agile, very, very quick off the ball. We just got to come ready.
You now hold the all-time kickoff return yardage record here at the school. First of all, were you even aware you were close to the record?
I knew I was somewhere close to it. I just didn't know how far away. My mom always reminded me of it.
Your mom?
Yes, sir. She's a big fan. She always supports us, Wofford Terriers. She's very into it every game she's here. So she just keeps up with it, reading through the books and stuff.
After what happened last year at Furman, how did it feel to beat these guys today?
It's a great feeling. Like I said, mostly just for the rest of the conference, just giving us that confidence boost. Hopefully we can just play more hungry. Just go out there, practice harder, just get ready, bring home these championships.
All right, Georgia Southern next week. That's always a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. They have some great fans actually. I can't really complain about them, but just ready to play. I feel like as long as we play the game that we play, can't nobody beat us.
So the Terriers up their record to 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the SoCon with a 38-17 win over Furman here at Gibbs Stadium. Wofford has now beaten the Paladins 3 of the last 4 head-to-head meetings. Next Saturday evening, the Terriers take a road trip to Statesboro, Georgia, and Paulson Stadium, where they'll battle the Georgia Southern Eagles. Kickoff will be 6 o'clock. I'm Mark Hauser for TerrierVision.